Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the AKOSO carbon fiber install on my 23 Lowrider ST. So, first thing I'm going to be working on is the tank dash. I'm going to be removing the old tank dash, the 2 bolts, which is super simple, super easy. Next order of business, I'm going to be working on taking off the rubber trim on the bottom. Now this trim does have adhesive on it, so you might want to be a little careful when removing it, that way you don't rip it. And then you're going to see me tweak out for the next minute or so, trying to make sure that it's on there straight and even. So I'm just going to be working it around. And then I will be eventually redoing one side of it because it's not straight, and that's my OCD screaming out loud inside my head, so. And that is where I determine it's not even. I'm just going to kind of work it around a little bit and reseat the other side again. Alright, once I've came to the compromise in my head that it's even enough, now I'm just working it around with my finger to press the adhesive on firmly so that it sticks well to the bottom of the inside of the tank dash. Next thing I'm looking at is the bottom mounting hole. Now it was a little off, not too big of an off, but enough to want to Dremel it out a little bit and kind of get it to where it would mount even on the tank. Alright, so that is all good, and now I'm going to be reinstalling the new piece onto the tank. Alright, done and done. Next, I'm going to be removing the badge off of the old piece using a heat gun and a plastic body panel remover. Heat gun makes quick work of it. A little tip though, you might want to wait a couple minutes to handle the badge, as it's going to be practically piping hot. Of course I didn't do that, I was really anxious, and so that was a nice little feel on the hands. Now I'm going to be tweaking out on trying to get this badge straight because I just kind of slapped it on a little too quick, and unfortunately the indentation where the badge goes on the new tank dash is just slightly smaller, probably because the resin or the clear coat finish or whatever, so that took a little extra effort to get it on there the way I wanted it. Next I'm going to be working on the side covers. I'm going to be working on pulling out the little rubber grommets. Now the best way to do this is to just squeeze the open side of the grommet and just smush it, and then you can squeeze it through the hole. And then you're pretty much just going to do that in reverse to install it onto the new piece. Just squish it in and kind of pull it through. Easy peasy. Alright, side cover number 1, done. 2, done. Showing off my handiwork. I'm proud of it. Now we're going to be putting the covers on the bike. Now you're going to see me struggle a little bit by putting on the bolts. I had to do, I had to be extra, and it was not necessary, but I just had to get black chrome bolts. The regular chrome bolts, there was nothing wrong with it, and but I was over at Ace Hardware looking for something else. I saw they had black chrome bolts, so I decided to spend way too much money on them, and the chrome was a little bit thicker than the stock bolts, so those are on there really snug, and it was a little bit extra effort to get them on. So I think I'm going to have to put some anti-seize grease on them next time I remove them and reinstall them, just so they go on a little bit easier. Right side cover done, looks nice and clean. On to the left side. And that one went on much easier. Now I'm going to be working on the belt guard. It's just 2 bolts. I believe it's a Torx bit. It comes off really easy. And it is a metal guard, which I was surprised to see. So next, I'm going to be working on pulling out the rubber insert, and there's a metal, I don't know what you call it, spacer insert. So I'm just pulling that out, and then there's like the rubber insert that you're just going to squeeze through, kind of like with the rubber grommets for the side covers. So for a second, I thought I was going to have to bust out the Dremel again to widen the hole, but that's just me comparing the holes. They look pretty close. So I'm just going to say F it, I'm just going to squeeze it on, and it worked just fine. Just working that in there. It's a little tight, don't be afraid. The carbon fiber is stronger than you think. That is on. And then I'm just going to be reinstalling the metal spacer insert. All right. So, I ran into a little bit of a snag right here. I forgot to check the other hole on the belt guard, and it is too small. And you're going to see me point that out here in a second. And there we go. Doesn't fit. So, what time is it? It's Dremel time. But, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see that part because I think I skipped it or whatever. But there is another thing that I realized is because this part comes from China, everything is in metric. So there is a brass threaded, I don't know what you call it. There's a metal piece on there, it's brass and it's threaded, and unfortunately it's in metric. So I was trying to figure out if I had a metric bolt to squeeze in there, and I didn't. So I realized I have a tap and die set, so I just tapped it to the correct size, which is, I think, 5/16 coarse thread. Don't quote me on it, but it's brass, soft metal. It was really easy to tap, so that's what I recommend doing, is just tapping it to the original size. Now, I don't know if all of the belt guards are going to be like this, but it was like really tight. It was so close to the pulley. So I was a little worried about that, but so far I've taken it out a couple times and there's no rubbing or anything, and it's pretty good. So the clearances are just super tight. That goes on pretty straightforward. Looks really good, even though you're barely going to see it because I always run bags. It's just one of those things that, like, it wasn't necessary upgrading the carbon fiber, but I figured why the hell not. It's there on the site. so I just spent the extra money and got it to match. So I have a nice little diamond weave carbon fiber theme going on with the bike. Bag goes back on, seat goes back on. Bada bing, bada boom. And here is the finished walk around. So I did the front fender with on a different video from a different company, and it was hexagonal carbon fiber listed on their site, Ojimoto. And thank goodness I found AKOSO, and they have matching carbon fiber. They call it diamond weave carbon fiber. And boy oh boy, does that diamond weave carbon fiber look good. I really like the difference of it as opposed to regular carbon fiber. Just has a little bit more style to it, and it kind of sets you apart. So that's me showing off the new upgrades that I've just done to the bike. Nice little walk around here, showing off my handiwork. And I must say the quality of the carbon fiber is actually not bad. It's pretty good. Just minor modifications, but apparently it's like that with all carbon fiber. And I really hope you like the video. I hope you like the bike. I really love the bike, and we'll see you on the next one.